Hello and welcome back to SwiftOwl7 Gaming. I'm SwiftOwl7. We're back in City Skylines 2, Episode 11, Vanilla Let's Play. And we got a couple things happening around the city. We can already see that. You should be seeing this video on YouTube on February the 4th, Sunday at 3 p.m. Central Time. So as we hop back into the game here, let's go ahead and just get our bearings. We got some traffic problems in multiple parts of the city, it looks like. So we're just going to take a quick look and see what's going on. Traffic is not good. We got traffic problems everywhere. Okay. So in our last episode, we added a couple medium residential or high density residential buildings here, or not residential, commercial buildings, and we worked a little bit on the Chevron district. We worked a little bit on the Fish district, and really it was just a very simple episode. But now we're going to tackle some really big problems. So let's see. We have a influx of people moving into the city, and that's why we have traffic right now. If you'll remember in our last episode, everyone is moving into the Fish district. Everyone's moving into the Chevron district, where we added some medium density and low density homes. So I fully expect this traffic to flush itself out. People are just taking different ways into this section right here. And where else did we put people in? I can't quite remember, to tell you the truth. We added some homes. Was it down here, through here? Maybe? Possibly? I don't know. So we're going to keep an eye on the situation, and really, I think at this point we need a beltway. We kind of tried to put a beltway in down here with this riverfront bypass. Hi, I see you. If you can hear my cat in the background, she's going crazy. So that's a regular thing whenever I sit down to record. Hi. We're gonna maybe have to look at adding a beltway north here in this city. So we'll just have to take a look at that and see what happens. My door just opened by itself, but that's okay. That startled me for a moment. So I'm hoping traffic will start to move. Excuse me. Okay. I have an indoor cat, and she loves sitting on the chair and looking out the window. And I mean, it's cold. It's like 53 degrees outside, which isn't really bad when it shines through the window. It's not bad at all. Anyway, so let's take a look. I mean, heavy traffic up here. Looks like a vehicle accident. That's what our problem is there. We got heavy traffic in this area. Just people moving into this district. We're just going to let it play out for a little while, and we'll come back to worrying about it later on. I think with adding this cart drive and bass drive in our last episode, we should add some more commercial along this area here. And maybe we can expand our residential zone back here. Another residential zone, I think, is what we do need. We could always do something over here, but I have a feeling that this will eventually grow up into a city center type of an area. So we're going to reserve that area for right now. We can definitely afford the map tiles. We have them to spend. I'm going to buy these two. I'm even going to buy this one here. And let's see, that's 114. We got 4.9 million. I'm going to buy this one because I really want this little sliver of land right here. So we're going to purchase all that. And we're going to extend Garden Gate Road, I think, straight out. I don't think we're going to put any fancy bends or anything like that in it. We're just going to keep it straight and simple and sweet. And we're going to come straight on out.
Now,
This is obviously going to be a high traffic way. I have a feeling that if we build here, this is also going to turn into high traffic. So before we do anything crazy, I want to go ahead and upgrade these roads the best that I can without destroying buildings. And I'm doing this, again, I don't want to do eminent domain in my city, and I'm hoping that this kind of will plan for the future. We're going to do the same with this road here. We're going to have to do that just like this. We're just really planning for the future. Unfortunately, we have some narrow roads. I mean, these aren't too bad. They're 2-lane roads in each direction. So it'll just be what it will be. I'm hoping that will work itself out. Should we put a roundabout here? Nah, I think that will be okay. Maybe there's a roundabout up there. You know, it wouldn't hurt us to have one here because there's 2 lights. So let's see about doing something like that. Before we put any buildings in, we'll put a roundabout in right here. I'm not too worried about congestion in this area. And since we do have a roundabout there, I think it can be easily done to have a road on this side and not be too worried about congestion. So we need to figure out how we want this.
Broadcast to all citizens. Fire and rescue service reports that fires are currently spreading in the nearby forest. The billowing clouds of smoke pose a serious health risk to anyone nearby. At this time, all citizens in the
if you are camping under this tree,
immediately move to a safe distance.
Please move to this tree over here, and you'll be safe. Those forest fires are so silly. They do nothing. So we got everyone coming down this way. We'll work on that. I'm thinking how we want to do this. I'm thinking planning a commercial zone right here. And then we'll have commercial along this front road here. So I'm thinking do something like that. Do that. And I want this road to actually be... Do I want it really 2 lanes? See, I'm thinking main commercial district entrance, like a mall. And I'm actually kind of have in mind the Eastwood Mall in Ohio, how their complex is set up. It's where I used to live, long time ago. Not long time ago, like 7 months ago. So, not anymore. Do that, and then we have an opportunity for parking along here with sidewalks that go across. I can see that happening. I want a back entrance to all of this, like right here maybe. We're just gonna stick with the big roads. I want a couple more tiles. This is turning into a bigger commercial district than I anticipated. Sorry about that. That is the... Speaking of the Eastwood Mall, those are the tornado sirens text messages going off for their noon Saturday test. And mine out here will be going off here in another hour. Okay. So, let's continue this road down here, and let's grab the 2-lane road with a median, and I want it to come in right here, and eventually we will meet right here. Let's keep this going. Let's bring this out. Invalid shape, why? I'm not quite sure what is going on here. There. What is going on here? Okay. I'm not quite sure why we're not being able to do this, but we're gonna get it. What? Okay, there we go. I mean, that was harder than it needed to be. And I want this to continue on this side, too. Okay. Now, what we don't want are all these red lights, so we're going to switch that up. We're going to have a stop sign here. That is something we're going to have here. Red light there, that's fine. No red light. No red light. And no red light. If you're tuning in and you haven't played City Skylines, you just click on the what you are working on and right-click will remove. I had to take a little drink there. And we don't need a light here since that's a circle. I am going to do a little bit of work right here. Let's see. Just for kicks and giggles is all this is going to be for. Guess I did it the wrong way. I'm just trying to add a little interest to this intersection here.
A driving advisory has been issued for the immediate area due to poor road conditions. Please exercise caution if you must drive and try to stay off the streets until conditions improve. This has been a local public service announcement.
This is Second Moon with J. Thomas Hornbuckle. Before we dive into our next selection, I'd like to take...
I don't like how this is the lane that ends. I really wanted this to be the lane that ends, but it will work. We don't need any red lights here or anything. Let me take care of this.
Before entering the slower Largo movement.
We are going to have some traffic rules. You're not going to be able to turn right there or left. You're not going to be able to turn left right there. We don't need any crosswalks here.
Shortage is driving up prices in the area.
Okay.
But apparently that's not all good news.
Now, I want this to be, so this is Orchard Street. This street already has a name, so we can't do anything there. But what we can do is, we're going to kind of make this a mall district, if you will. Mall Drive. This is going to be Mall Outlet Complex. And we're going to have probably some more commercial buildings over here, some over here. And we're probably going to work on these ones over here right now. Let's see.
I like the sound of that.
But while we are discussing the study of a statistical abstraction and its effect on the human...
Thank you, Professor.
It is a question of priorities.
This just in from traffic. If you're thinking about hitting the streets, you can expect delays on the major roads, especially during rush hour.
Good to know, Jim. Seems like everyone is in a hurry to get somewhere fast. It's worth slowing down. And if you can, plan your trip outside the rush.
Oh, I don't know. I'd rather wait an hour in traffic than to have to start thinking about everything all the time. Besides, if I did that, I'd never get anywhere.
Mall. We're going to call this, so we got Mall Outlet Complex, Mall, oh, what road should this be called? Mall. I want something in the mall. I won't reflect that. Mall. You know what? You know, I'm designing this after Eastwood. Let's do this. Mall. Eastwood. No. I don't know. Just something silly. Okay. Orchard Drive comes through here. And we're going to go ahead and get some commercial buildings moving into this place. Low density. Right along this side here is what we're aiming for right now. And we're going to do one right here. We're going to do some right along here. And maybe one here. One here. And that takes care of our commercial need for right now. I'm going to add a district right here. Maybe. Can I do that? Can I add a district, please? Oh, there we go. Turn off snapping. So what should we call this mall complex? I think we're just going to call it the City Mall. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be a commercial district. I don't know if there's any actual special mall buildings like in City Skylines 1 that you can unlock, but if there are, maybe we'll put it down here eventually. So I put this in here just to kind of give us an idea of what we want to reserve for commercial, and then maybe do some residential back on this side. We definitely need residential quite badly. So let's continue to look at our traffic problems that we started the game with. And it looks like they've worked out, except for this circle over here. And I think this will work itself through eventually. We just need to be patient. Holy cow. There was a accident, and a first responder fell in the line of duty, and so they are processing through this neighborhood to honor this person. This lady right here, she just happens to be crossing the road. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a backstory for 1,000 ambulances going through the neighborhood. Everyone's wondering what the heck is going on. There's some need for ambulances, but it's not like critical, I don't think. What's this need down here? Traffic accident. Okay. Power. I know we're gonna need to do something with our power systems. What are we doing? Yeah, we really need to look at that. We're doing great on money right now. So. Where did we say that this ended? Right at this tree? Okay. That's actually a good landmark. Let's go ahead and have a road come up here. Like this. Let's bring this road all the way out this way. And is it going to connect into the mall? Maybe. There might be a back entrance. I don't know. But it is going to service a residential area down here, for sure. That residential area will be accessed via a roundabout right here. Where's those trees at? I don't want to get too far into our mall complex. So, backstory is the city is talking to the mall, the people that own the mall complex, the city mall. Even though it's the city mall, the city does not own it. And they are negotiating a deal to have this road connect into the city complex, or the mall complex, and have it be local traffic only through this area. Oh, is our terrain changing a little bit? It is, just a little bit. That's okay. And I think that's what's going to happen. Something like that. Mill Street. Why is that called Mill Street? We're going to call this Mall Street. Even though it had another name a minute ago. We need to think of a district name for this. So, let's go ahead and... can I edit this a little bit? We're going to bring this down to here and bring it up along here. Just like that. And then we're going to have a new district coming down here. Just like that. I'm just going to call it Deerfield. Just a name that came to my head. I've heard that town in several different places, so I think that'll be appropriate. And Deerfield, we're just going to call the streets... not after anything. We'll have Whitetail Street. We'll have Elk Street. We'll have Moose Street, and we'll have Deer Street. That's very simple. So Deerfield is going to have, it's going to be a gated community, heavy traffic ban, recycling, speed bumps. I'm not worried about parking meters. So the mall complex also is going to have speed bumps and roadside parking fees. So now we can go ahead and zone this to our heart's content. Right here, I'm thinking maybe some park and rec. That's my thinking on that. So we're just gonna go to our playgrounds and stuff, and maybe we'll throw in like a basketball court for the kids. Right here's one. An outdoor gym. How about skate park? We can go right here. No one's built over here yet. And maybe we can do like a actual, I don't know, small plaza, and you got your playground. Right over here. We have room for one more thing. Dog park. How's that? I think that works just fine. I think we should have some parking for this stuff down here. So we are going to put a little parking area right here. Even though roadside parking is a thing. Do we really need a parking lot for this? I think we probably should have one. And we're just going to make this 30 cents. Not our most expensive, but there is a parking fee for that. Oh, we can have this 0? It's for the park complex. It's not for necessarily residential, though that will probably get used for that. So that squashes our need for low income. What we want over here, or not low income, but low residential. What we want over here is more of this mall to be developed now. And so just bear with me. Just name that something that makes sense. Right here. Eventually, we're not going to want a right turn. There are people driving that way, even though there's nothing built up over here yet. So, over here, I'm thinking more high density. There's a house right there, so let's give them a little gap. We're going to have a place like
Recent
that.
Spikes in demand have led to temporary local shortages in the city's fresh
And then over
water supply.
here,
The public should be aware that we are struggling to get the situation in hand. This has been a local public service announcement. A driving advisory has been issued for the immediate area due to poor road conditions. Please exercise caution if you must drive and try to stay off the streets.
and just to kind of make this look more mall-y,
This has been a local public service announcement.
This is Second Moon with J. Thomas Hornbuckle. Before we dive into our next selection, I'd like to take a few memento moris to elaborate.
we're going to do a couple little edits.
Fun work. For our newer, less able listeners, first, we will be dancing through the al dente section before entering the slower largo movement, finally, then savoring the vivacious antipasto movement. So, without further ado, let's raise the curtain and begin.
We're live, and we're getting reports about a traffic accident somewhere in the city.
Road maintenance services have already been dispatched, and traffic flow should return to normal. But if you're planning a quick trip out, you might want to wait a little while until everything clears up.
If you're in it, you already know about it. No use reminding you. Meanwhile, expect delays.
We're going to have low parking fees, nothing
And
crazy.
on to our main feature story. The commercial district is booming as the area is attracting more high-end stores, bringing the latest in luxury to our neighborhood. You can now shop for designer shoes while sipping a fancy local Jarva Mate, or so my wife tells me. That's good for business and good for the community.
Thanks, Jim. We'll be back after.
That's working out really well. Again, our residential need is high again, but we will take care of that here in a moment. And I'm kind of thinking how we want to do this. I'm thinking, do we want to expand these row houses this way? The road can definitely support that, but do we actually want to do that? Or do we want to fill this area right here with trees? I'm thinking maybe yes. Can we do that? Let's see. Let's grab these for right now. just planted. We'll plant some more over here. Just some trees here and there. Making this more of a green space. Okay. There's that. Right here be some good commercial spots. So what we might do is extend this. We had talked about this in the last episode. Extending this down this way. It's all one way. Extending this one down. Let's go ahead and look at parking. We could do 2 little parks. I mean, they're not little. But we could do these parking lots just to keep consistency. I think we will with some type of a park or a playground in the middle. So let's go ahead and grab that. We had basketball courts over there. How about tennis courts over here? That's a pretty big tennis court. We'll do a tennis court on this side and maybe like a small playground, dog park. Fits perfectly. And then we need to calculate how much we need for about 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and a half. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. Kind of like right in there. Okay. Let's see if we can pull this off. Let's see, it's going to need a little bit more than what I think. So right about there. And go into parking lots, and that fits perfectly. Look at that. I don't like the names of this street here. I don't think we named this street, did we? We're just going to call this parking development, and we're going to call this, you know, that's stupid. Parking road A, parking road B. And then tulip goes in the middle, and this is just going to be a cross street of some sort, and we'll figure that out here in a moment. And actually, I'm thinking in my mind as we are going along, because we need some medium residential areas. Just give me a moment here, guys. I do have a method to my madness, I think. I'm just gonna make this look somewhat neat. Something like that, and we're gonna call this Row Street, because these are all gonna be row houses, and this is gonna be Row South. Well, see, I don't know what direction. We need to pick a direction that is. This is gonna be our north direction. Which way is the sun? Okay, we don't even have the sun for reference. But I think when you look at the thumbnail, when you actually pick out this map, this is on the bottom, so this is going to be north. So We're going to call this row North Street. Oh man, the whole thing changes. Okay. Okay, we'll just call this then. So we got Row Street and we got Row Lane. I'm sure the Amazon drivers won't get confused about that at all. Let's see here. Grab our medium and let's stick with the. Let's go European. Go right down there, and just in case we want to do something here, we are going to put that there. I want to do some sidewalks before I unpause the game and everyone starts building crazily, and I end up accidentally deleting things I shouldn't. Just like that. There might be an extension that comes down this way, and that's why I'm leaving this spot empty. We got plenty of parking. Let's see, what were we charging over here? 40? We can do that over here without any problem. I bet you this will be used just fine. Oh, we had tennis courts over here too. I didn't even see that. Right here. Just a small plaza, and that should work. Okay. This one-way road is just going to continue to run down this way. And, you know, they're not going to be used right now, but I'm just going to temporarily... And to show that it's temporary, I'm going to put a dirt road to remind myself that this is not a permanent thing. Just in case traffic gets down here and they're like, oh man, we took a wrong turn that doesn't let out anywhere. Okay. Something just dinged on my computer, and I really hope the video is still recording. We'll find out. Let's unpause this and watch these guys move in. That's taking care of that need right there. I think we're going to build this up a little bit more right here. And how much are we charging for the mall? Just 10 cents? That's not bad. So, I'm looking at this need for commercial buildings. And that's kind of why I wanted to expand this way, was to put commercial, and I ended up putting residential. But I think we can probably take advantage of doing some commercial right along here. Leave a little gap right here for these guys, and we'll go right along this back side. And what we will do over on this side, we'll leave 2 gaps, and we'll come right along that side there, like so. And what we're going to do is plant some trees along there, just to make, you know, these guys happy. So they don't have to look at dumpsters in the back of buildings, and gives them some privacy too from the commercial buildings that are going up, because these are going to be fairly tall buildings. I mean, they're not going to be skyscrapers or anything, but we will just have a nice little mean, look at this guy. I mean, he has a pet cemetery right there, right? That's what that kind of looks like. It reminds me of. Okay. And I think I zoned this the same as that side, so we'll just keep this going. Might as well just do this all the way down to the end of the block. Okay. We're going to do something nice with this circle right here.
The city has adopted a recycling policy. All citizens are encouraged to place their recyclables in the proper receptacles. Let's keep our city green and beautiful. Start today.
This mall complex is a gated community, and you know how some gated communities have like flower beds with a big sign that says the name of the community? So that's kind of what we're going for right here. It's just going to be on this side, because this is the entrance to the community. It kind of points the way in. And we're going to add some big fluffy trees right along here. And right along here.
What's up, honey?
And I am pretty happy with that for right now. I think that'll work.
Y'all got clarinets and violins.
We got water problems. Okay, that's not a problem. That's not a problem. Let's go to our water plant over here.
Let's see here.
First, is there still groundwater? Yes.
A raison d'être.
Can we upgrade this anymore? No. Do we want to put another one here? I think it would be best, in case there's an earthquake or something, to plan on putting one maybe up in this area. That way we're not putting all of our eggs in the same basket. So let's take this main street.
Is for the layperson. Now,
and extend it up. Did I pick a different? I picked the wrong one, didn't I? No, that's the right one. Extend this up. And let's have a little alley
and onto our main feature
coming
store.
right here.
The commercial district is booming as the area
we can put our pump right there.
Stores, bringing the latest in luxury
Maybe
to
we'll
our
extend the alley just a little bit
you
more.
can now shop for designer shoes while sipping a fancy local Jarva
There we
latte.
go.
Or so my wife tells me.
Groundwater pumping
That's good
station
for business
right.
and good for the community.
Thanks, Jim.
And we're going to fully upgrade this since we have the money. Okay. We don't need a red light here, that's for sure. So we're going to have a lot of people moving in to this area over here, a ton of people. It's going to cause traffic again, and we're already seeing that traffic coming into the city. So this will flush itself out eventually. This is not a big deal. Got a lot of semis coming in, and I would bet you they're going to the mall complex and the a couple other areas up here. So that will eventually flush itself out. We got traffic packed up over here. All of this is going. Why are you stopped? This guy's like, I'm just stopped just to be stopped. Okay, it's fine. This is gonna flush itself out, I believe. We're just getting this major influx. We really need to start talking about a beltway, because this main street is not handling it. This riverfront bypass doesn't really do. You don't want to take that bypass if you're going up here. I mean, you need another. We almost need a road that comes right out this way. And I think we might do that here. I'm not quite sure how this is going to work. So I'm thinking buying this land right in this area and one more strip here. We'll kind of curve up and around. There won't be any you know, there might be an interchange right up here eventually if we extend this road out. But this is going to be a highway. We're not even going to make it like this. It's going to be a regular interstate highway. Come across here. There might be it'll turn into an overpass with a couple ramps that come down here, and it'll probably stay an overpass, so we can have roads going underneath of it with ramps coming down to Main Street. No, that's Minnow Street. It will come around the city as needed. And okay, I think we're okay. I think we're going to be just fine with that. Speaking of disasters and things, we really do want to look at some of the things we can purchase. I mean, we purchased this. We have no clue how it works. You know, we're not having problems yet in that area. Train, I mean, that's something in the future. Large sports parks, I wouldn't mind unlocking this. Let's go ahead and unlock that. We got 10 points available. Communications. I do think we should probably unlock this and this. And we'll get to that, placing these things here in a little bit. We're up to 20,000 people, which is just wonderful. We're a great town. I think one thing we can look at doing is power. Potentially adding another power plant. We could really pull that off, I believe. Expanding our power. I lost my interface. How did I do that? Okay. Expanding our power plant down here. So let's go ahead and do that. I don't even know why this is 2 lanes. I'll just do that. That doesn't make any sense to me why that was. It must have just been an accident when I originally built that. Coal. I'm thinking coal. I mean, this is on the outskirts of our city. We don't have any. We just have to worry about this groundwater. We don't want to pollute it. But we don't have to worry about any pollution really produced by this. It's going to be going to another city somewhere else near you. Hi, kitty cat. Hi. I hear you. I know. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and put this here. Just for kicks and giggles and see how that works. And I don't know, can we upgrade these things? No. We do need to hook it up into the power grid. So we will do that right now. I hear you. I hear you. You've been fed. I've taken you outside for your little walk, yeah? You just want to be held, don't you? Well, maybe in a little bit. Boy, she's really talkative. I don't know if you can hear her on a microphone. She's almost screaming. Give me attention. So, we're talking about this Beltway. I think that's what we really need to do. We're going to go ahead and look at unlocking that right now. So, let's see. Probably going to need to unlock that too. I just got the Explorer achievement on Steam for unlocking 50 tiles in a single city. It sure does not seem like 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Maybe it is. Okay. What we're going to do is take a look here. I'm not sure how I want this to be for an interchange. And we haven't even unlocked intersections yet, so let's see if we can do that. Intersections. Of course, I spent all my points on other things. Okay. We'll have to make our own, and that's not a problem. I'm not horrible at it. I'm not great, but I'm not horrible. I might need that. I don't know. I might not. I just wanted a little bit more room to work with here. I don't like this highway name. We're going to change this. If this is north and this is south, that's going to mean this is east over here. So, East Highway. What's a highway that goes from east to west? 80. Interstate 80 does. So, this is... no, because it ends and I-80 doesn't end, it goes all the way over. We're just gonna pick up a... We're just gonna call this East Highway 80. How about that? It's not gonna be I-80, but it's gonna be Highway 80. West Highway 80. Okay. So, and that turns into Main Street. We're gonna do 3 lanes first off. Right here. And then we're going to go to 4 lanes right here. And then we're going to have this 2-lane bend out this way. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. And that looks pretty good. I'd say that looks really good, actually. Doesn't look bad. Okay, coming this way. Eventually, so let's complete this up to like right in this area here. So I want this to kind of come this way. Like this. And kind of like this with a slight upgrade. Because we're going to have a bridge right over here. And then we're going to come back down and begin our turn. We'll fiddle with that later on. That's going to be the essential of things. Right next to it here, at the very least, is going to be a road coming down. And it's going to turn into a 4-lane highway right about here. Can I make that more like right here? I like that. Because we're just going to keep this going straight for right now. 2 lanes are going to come out to the right, and two are going to cross over. So let's do the right first. And what we're going to do is we're going to do 4 lanes. No. 2 lanes. We're going to do 4 lanes. 3 lanes. Actually, that works, because that explains why we have 3 lanes here, doesn't it? I mean, kinda, sorta. No. I don't like this. It's kind of messy, but it will work. I think I might just make that a little neater.
A driving advisory has been issued for the immediate area due to poor road conditions. Please exercise caution if you must.
That's a little neater.
And try to stay on the streets until conditions
Let's look at our road budget.
This has been a local
real
public
fast.
service announcement. We
Services, roads, 100%. We're going to up that to 106.
By flames. The thick smoke
Forest
rising
fire.
From the fire makes
Hey, this one's actually in the city limits.
Citizens are advised to
I think we'll be
vacate
okay
any
though.
premises near the fires and remain at a safe distance until emergency
So are people using
services
these
manage
parking
to
lots
get the
over here?
fires
Yeah, this
under
one's filling
control.
up. How about the mall? Anything?
Second Moon Radio,
That's more for aesthetics
your
anyway,
host,
because
Jay
every
Thomas
business has their own
Hornblower.
parking lot.
Tune in tomorrow for a second chance to hear the music of yesteryear.
Okay.
We're,
Yeah, we got
we're
problems.
live, and we're getting reports about a traffic accident.
But we're okay.
Somewhere.
We got problems, but we're okay. We're working. All this congestion, I'm hoping, will be solved by this road here. We are working on it. It's not like we're ignoring it.
If you're in it, you already know about
Okay.
it. No use reminding you. Meanwhile, expect delays and drive safe. And on to our main feature story. The commercial district is booming as the area is attracting more high-end stores, bringing the latest in luxury to our neighborhood. You can now shop for designer shoes while sipping a fancy local Jarva mate, or so my wife tells me. That's good for business and good for the community.
Thanks, Jim. We'll be back.
That's not what I want. Okay. That gives us a nice long merging lane. And we're going to call this road right here. This is if you want to return back to the city, your Alville return. The city's called Alville. This is going to be east. And we'll name these roads here eventually. We're just not quite there yet. I want to redo this over here a little bit. I don't like this long bridge. Well, maybe I do. No, I don't. No, you see, it gets in the way of things. We're going to have to work on this. So we're going to delete this here. We're doing good on money. Sort of keeping my eye on that. And I don't think... I remember in City Skylines 1, I feel like whenever I did highways, I always went into debt. So I'm kind of happy to see that I'm not going into major debt. What I want right here is... So I'm just going to do what I want. How about that? Hi, I see you. I'm trying to build highways. Yes, I am. Oh, you're so fluffy. Yes, you are. You're a little fluffy thing. Okay. Let's grab this road. And what I want is for this road to go here. I want this road to eventually also go down here. And because of that, I need to do a couple wee little things. This to kind of come perpendicular to it, like that, and I don't want to. Okay. We're just going to keep this up in the air with a very slight bend. Okay, And the same thing is going to happen, essentially, this direction. Okay. Now we're going to start hitting the ground and curve around. I'm trying to just think in my mind how I want this to go. I don't think this looks horrible down here. It's a little sharp bend, but you want to be going slow, right? Maybe, I don't know. Oh, I'm not gonna hit that corner. I think we can get by, but where we aren't gonna get by is probably over here. So let's go ahead and just buy this. Let's purchase this here. And this is going to kind of force us to start building out this way too, I think, now that we're purchasing land. Which is not a bad thing. So I want, for safety's sake, to keep 180 degrees and, you know, just a nice little... I want this to be straight. 3.6 slope. That's fine. And this is going to be a, you know, 3.7 slope. We can handle that. I think that's fairly safe. Let's go ahead and grab this road. And we're going to actually make this one go out just a little bit further before we start to bend it. That way we save some room for that one. And I don't know, something like this. I think that works all pretty good, actually. And we're just going to keep this. I mean, there's not that much of a bend in this road. Right along there. And what we'll do is the same going this way. I'm going to keep a little bit of a gap. A little bit of a median, if you will. Mainly because I know I got this telephone post that I need to get around. I think it's coming up here. And there are highways in real life that divulge like that, so I'm not too concerned. I don't like how that looks. So let's go back and do a little wiggly here. I don't want anything too crazy of a bend. Just don't like it. And to tell you the truth, again, like I've said in other episodes, if you don't like something, try building it backwards. And that often solves your problem. So as I build this backwards, I just get a new perspective for it, really. And then I can just neaten it up here. And then all I have to do is just switch the directions by clicking and dragging in the direction I want. It's better. It's not perfect. We might revisit this. I don't like that. But I've seen highways in real life do that, so I mean, hey, we're gonna just go with it. Okay, this is where we're going to have our interchanges. One here, one here. And what I think, I mean, how are we doing on traffic? I mean, we got traffic just bogged down here. We got traffic problems here as well. Man, we got traffic problems here. People moving in. They're waiting on these red lights. And I tell you what, there doesn't need to be red lights there. Let's get rid of them. Let's just do no red lights. It's a major intersection, yeah, but kind of like what we did down here. We didn't have red lights. We just have... Do we have stop signs down here or something? Nothing. Nothing, it looks like. Oh, we had a building collapse, but we got a lot of other skyscrapers moving in. So that should start things moving down here a little better. I'm hoping. So... grab that road. Let's grab this road. And I'm actually going to expand this road, I think, into a 3-lane. No, we'll keep it 2. For right now. We just won't build anything along it in case we change our mind. And what I'm kind of thinking here is having this curve and join up into one road and then come into an intersection. We'll worry about that, though, in a little bit. I know we're at our 1 hour and 8-minute mark. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to pause right here in this episode. And in our next episode, we're going to do these interchanges and a couple other things around the city. So I want to thank you for joining in this episode of Swift Dial 7 Gaming and City Skylines 2 Vanilla Edition. Join us next time. Until then, stay safe.